Hello, virtual violinists. I hope you're all well and you've had a lovely Easter holiday. We are going to start today with some of our old favourites, starting with Popcorn Pizza, which is the piece that goes A 4 times then fatter than a caterpillar. Now, there's a couple of things we have to check before we play the music. Well, you know this one really well now. The first thing is that you have your violin right on your shoulder. No violin beards. So it's a little bit like when you leave the house, if you were going to the shops or something like that, you would never leave the house without your shoes on. And it's the same when you start with your violin playing, you never start playing the violin until you've checked these little things. So that's the first thing to check, is that you've got a lovely violin hold and it's not too droopy and it's not sticking up in the air. The second thing to check is that you have a lovely bow hold with curly fingers, a curly thumb, a curly little finger that stands on top. And if you've got all of those things, you should have a little mouse hole. So once you've checked that you've got your violin hold right and your bow hold right, means you've got your musical shoes on, and we can start with Popcorn Pizza. So here we go. How did you get on playing along with all four Mrs. Baileys? Whew, I bet you didn't realise this was a violin quartet. Right, the next piece that we're going to just run over is Katie's Waltz, which we've done before in lessons. It's the one that's in 3 time. And if you remember, these little notes here, the ones that aren't coloured in but have a little dot after them, are called dotted minims, and you hold those for 3 counts. So that has to be a slow bow. So this music is going to sound like this. D, A, D, 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 A. It's the one that we played that goes, I like pizza with cheese. So we're going to play that now. We should have the music flashing up on the screen. Here we go. Make sure you've got your musical shoes on. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, play. One more time. Start on D. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, play. How did you get on with those slow bows? And did you manage to follow the music all the way to the end? Right, we've done some of our old tunes, some of our favourites. Now we're going to try a new tune so that we can make sure that we can still remember how to put our fingers down on the violin. So, the part of your fingers will be played by some teddy bears. And the words to the song go like this. One small bear. If we are two, then we have three small bears. But only two of mine have greyish hair. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 1. Easy peasy. Words make no sense, but that's okay. Right, here we go again. So, starting with Mr. 1 on the E string. We'll go through the words again. They are like this. One small bear. If we are two, then we have three small bears. But only two of mine have greyish hair. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 1. So, when the words in the song say a number, that is the number of the finger that you have to put down. So, one small bear is going to be finger 1. If you add 2, that's when you put your second finger down. So it's going to sound like this. So you start with your finger 1, one small bear. If you have 2, then there'll be 3 small bears. Let's try that together. 1, 2, 3, play. One small bear, rest, rest. If you have 2, then you'll have 3 small bears. All the notes are on the E string. So now that we've climbed up, we're going to climb back down again. So once we hit the top, 3 small bears, we stay on that note. But only 2 of mine have. And on the word grey this time, you're going to do finger 1. Greyish hair. Then you put all 3 down and you do 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 1. Okay, whew, tricky stuff. So keep your violin right on your shoulder. Let's see if we can do it all the way through. Okay, so we could start with finger 1. Make sure you've got your musical shoes on. Make sure you've got lovely tabletop fingers. Here we go, land on the E string. After 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest, rest. If you have 2, then you have 3 small bears. Rest, rest. But only 2 of mine have greyish hair. Rest, rest. If you need to stop the video and have a little practice of it before we try the piano, that's fine. So now we'll try it with the piano part. So we'll try this tune with the piano now. It happens 2 times. It's got a very funny name. It's called The Worm Detective. Mysterious. So let's get our musical shoes on before we set off. Make sure you've got your violin on your shoulder and you've got your lovely bow holds. Land on E1. Look for a tabletop here and off we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest, rest. And again, play. Rest, rest. Rest, rest. Rest, rest. Okay, that was quite fast. But if you practice it slowly and then have another go once you get to know how it sounds with the piano, I think you'll be able to manage that. So have fun, happy violining, and I'll see you next week.